tiger on the prowl. I'ma make it go wild. I'm original, and I told you so. I'm a kid in the candy store, with the leather on the denim. I ain't the cure, I'm the venom. If you wanna find me, find the taillight. Something's coming in, you're gonna wanna take a red eye. It's time to go. It's time to go. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. I don't wait for nobody. I'm a summer name on the dotty. City lights call my name, drawn to the flame, and I'm feeling kinda naughty. I hit the ground running, step out the door and I'm stunning. Better hold tight cause you know what's going down. I'm setting the pace cause this is my town. So get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink.
Good evening, Discord jockeys. How are we doing? It is a pleasure to be here again, and I am going to be working on helping you discover the top app bar. You're like, what the hell is the top app bar? I don't know, because my thumbnail was very accurate. I was like going, what's this? I don't think anybody knows what to call that area, but you know what? There is a rich set of features that are available to us to do some amazing things in Discord as users in that area. So I'm going to go through them all. And honestly, by the time we get to the inbox stuff, your minds are going to be like, because this is going to make your life so much easier on the Discords. So I'll say quick hellos because let's face it, there's not a lot of us. So I'd rather just acknowledge the people who are coming out to support. So Dee, thank you so much. Dee's going to be helping moderate and keep all the rowdies in line because this is going to be an intense affair. I have absolutely no doubt. Pia, great to see you. I am so glad that you're along for the journey, and I'm really enjoying watching you getting to know your own server, which is really awesome. Yes, thank you. Please, all 5 of you, please hit the 5. There's probably like 3. But I don't care. I'm glad you're here. My sound is a bit low. Thanks for that. Let's see. I can absolutely fix that, I think. Mind blown with Discord in general. No, that's my headphone level. I don't know why I'm coming through so quietly in Discords, but let's turn these sound effects down quite a bit. How's that? I will await for feedback anxiously. Please do let me know, but thanks for that. I'm here to respond. Rich, great to see you. What do we have? We have discourse. Is that what it is? A discourse rather than a Discord? There you go. JP, you're here, sir. Great to have you. Thank you for coming. iCast Enterprises. You probably told me your name. Can you just tell me again? Otherwise, I'm just going to call you iCast or ICE. Sounds fine for you. Okay, good to know. No problem. The replay will be available and it'll be good. It'll be a great replay. So there you go. Okay. Oh, a jockey. Thank you. Duh. Really strenuous. Okay. So I am going to do my best today to show you how this all looks, not only on the desktop, but also on an iPhone today, because you know what? Oh, seriously? There we go. Okay, thank goodness it opened up. And not just on a desktop, but on the iPhone as well. And I'm sorry, I don't have an array of devices that I can show you how it looks on an Android OS and other alternatives, but I will show you the differences with what we're talking about on a mobile OS. The features are largely similar, but they just look a little bit different because of the more collapsed space. But we are going to go into how things look definitely in the desktop mode. So if you are like me and you spent a lot of time in Discord without even knowing that there was a fun piece of action up here, and of course, you know what? If I'm going to do the top app bar, maybe I should move myself from the top. Put myself in the corner. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Okay, I put baby in a corner. But if you haven't seen this top app bar area, don't worry about it. And it doesn't matter what you call it. I don't even know if that's what it's called. Really, I did some research and there you go. Jay Elliott, thank you very much. And you can't see my top app bar. Okay, I'm going to do my best. There we go. Better? That is very important that you can all see it. And that's where the most of the action's going to be, okay? Hopefully that's good, Pia. I think I got it now. Make it just a little bit smaller. And that way it's all there, okay? The trick on this broadcast, friends, is going to be me not uncovering any salty information, but still being able to show you the full range of all what we can do. Thanks, Pia. We can see it now. Okay, so our first stop is going to be right here with threads. Okay, basically threads are, think of them as sub-channels of information that you want to keep together, a conversation that you want to stay intact, that you don't necessarily need to be highly visible for the rest of eternity. Because threads are in two states. They are active and inactive. So when I click on my threads button here, you can see that I've got my threads and I have an indicator of whether things are active or archived. So when a thread is archived, it means, ooh, look at all of these threads that are archived on my FH Empires channel server. All of these are still able, people can still access them. They just don't show up in the navigation pane on the left-hand side as being active. So if you have a lot of conversations going on about particular things, you can see that I've got particular matches that we've talked about, or maybe an activity that we were doing together. I don't know what that conversation was about, but basically anything there was a thread going on when I did my holiday What If Wednesday episode, which was really fun. But you don't necessarily need that to be active and cluttering up your entire channels. So that's what threads allow you to do. And you can access a thread or the threads that are in a particular channel from here, from the top bar. Okay. You can also see the active ones on the left-hand navigation pane as threads underneath. Now, threads will appear in either what this is called, this is the full view, or if I go up to the meatballs over here and I go to more, I can actually consciously open up in a split view. Okay, and split view means that I've got the two sides. What I like about this format is I don't feel like I'm going to get lost as easily. So one of the complaints I have about some of the other platforms like Circle, for example, or Mighty Networks, is that once you click into something there, you kind of get lost as to where everything else is. I like this structure of having a left-hand navigation side while I have the whole server pane navigation here, a channel and category navigation, and then a main channel pane and a thread pane right next to it. This thread pane, you can see I've got the arrows there. This is resizable and this is sticky. So something that Discord did, and let me see if I can find the overlay easily, is that Discord just released an update on, I've been doing this for a hot minute, just on the 4th, where that resizable pane is now going to be, it does look a little small, doesn't it? Let's see if I can make it bigger. The resizable windows are now going to not only be resizable, but they'll remember the setting that you had them at. So when you click away to a different channel that doesn't have threads, you come back and everything is going to be sized the way you want. So that's going to be really, really nice. Okay, so let me just flip this off. What am I talking about? So again, when we come back to the threads here, when I pop open that menu, even if I'm in this split view, I'll actually get a pop out of the threads and I can look at my active and my archive. Now, this behavior could change depending on how the server owner, manager, or yourself have set up your threads. You might set them up so that if anybody finds a particular thread and they look at it, that this is archived, but if I post something in this bar here or a react, for example, to a particular, I can't react to a message without actually making a reply that makes it active again, then that will push it back into the active category and it will show up again. Oh, look, it's active just because I'm in it. Look, I did it just like that. I thought I had to post. I could, as a person with these permissions in my own server, is I could come in and I could unarchive the thread that way. I could also manually archive the thread. Now, if I do that, that overrides people's ability to archive. So just think about that. Let threads take their course, but you can set threads to archive after different times. So you can see down here, I've got an archive setting. It's going to auto archive on the 13th of April. Let's move that mouse over just a little bit so you can see it. And so I can come here and I can lock the thread. I can archive it. I can lock it if I don't like it. And then I can change all these options. Now, 1 hour or 24 hours is available to everybody, no matter what your server status is. If your server is boosted to level 1, you unlock the 3 days. And if you have level 2, then you unlock it to 1 week. And by default, I have all my threads in many of my channels set so that they will auto archive after 1 week, because I just like to think that, I mean, maybe people aren't coming every day and looking for the new information. So this is really, really helpful to have set up. So that's a great way that you can access your threads, is from up here. So whenever you see a number on the badge, you know that there are active threads involved. It does not count the inactive threads. Okay, so that says the 2. There are my 2 joined threads. And actually, yes, it is the threads that I've joined and I'm getting notifications on. And that's an important point, but I'll come back to it after I show it off on the iPhone. So here we are. I'm going to go back to that same place. Here is my general. And then when I hit the threads, it pulls it up and I've got my active threads that I have joined and I've got archived threads all down at the side. I can even start I can filter and I can see different views. Obviously, this moderator view, if you're not a moderator and you don't have those permissions, you're not going to be able to do that in that particular moment. Okay, so there you go. There's a few interesting things about threads that we should probably go through, and that is that threads, you will not be notified of their activity and their posting on them by default. So if you have a particular channel where your notifications are turned on, and we'll go to notifications in a couple minutes here, but if I don't have my notifications turned on, even if I have them turned on so that I get whatever the category default is, or I get all messages here at the top, that doesn't apply to the threads that are created in that channel. So you won't get pings on those until you come into a thread, and then if you reply, you're automatically going to be get notifications from there on in. But you can also manually come up, you can say, please, I want all notifications of this particular thread because I'm deeply interested in everything that's happening in my server. Okay, let me know if you have any questions as I'm going along. I'm just sort of running through the information, but I'm happy to pause, go over anything again, show you something in the alternate view, in the alternate OS. Just let me know if that's there. Okay, so that is probably everything that we can do with threads. And, oh, I had this whole thing that I forgot about. Look at that pretty title. And now we've covered off threads. It's going to be a good edit, isn't it? Let's move on to notifications. Oh, so good. Okay, so notifications, the bell for notifications up here, this is a nice way that you can control notifications in whatever area you happen to be sitting in. So this is not server-wide, this is not Discord-wide, this is not even category-wide, this is only for where you are. So if I come in and I say, ooh, I want to mute this thread for 15 minutes, it's going kabonkers and it's driving me crazy, then I could set that and then I won't get notifications pinging me for that 15 minutes or however long I have set that for. If I go to another thread, for example, I love my peeps, but we have an off-topic squirrel area, and there's a Wordle thread, and I care nothing about Wordle. I'm sorry if that offends you. That's just who I am. And you can see that my notification bell gives me the status of this particular channel. I have muted this channel. I don't want to see notifications. I don't want anything to alert me. If I care about recent Wordle scores or Hurdle or, whatever games that they're playing, then go ahead. So this is a really powerful way to make a quick change on a channel that is bothering you. But one thing to consider is that you can actually go through. Oh, let me show you on the iPhone first. Everything that's happening there. Okay, so your notifications. Oops. I'm going the wrong way with that. Okay. So what I needed to do in order to get to more features on my top app bar here, you can see I've got my threads there. I've got search, which I'm going to go through in a second. I also have my user list. And when I pop open my user list, I get my pinned messages up here, and I get my notification bar, my notification pane. So the options pop up there. So that's a little bit different than what you had before. Okay. And so that might get you a little bit confused as between iOS and desktop. but that's where those are. So think about, okay, can I swipe that pane over? I am swiping right on that activity and looking into the other ways that I can quickly access some good features in my server. Okay, how's that? Let me know if there's anything that I can go over again, because I am happy to do so. The next category of things we're going to talk about are the pinned messages. So yes, they're in a bit of a different order on the iOS, but on the desktop, they're going to be the next element over. Okay, and your pinned messages, just right here. You may be in a channel where there are no pinned messages. Okay, so sad face, this channel doesn't have any pinned messages. And it gives you a little pro tip. Users with managed messages can pin from the cog menu. So the cog menu is sort of the settings, and I'm not sure exact. I'll have to look again where the cog menu shows up on desktop for people, but I can pin messages by hitting the hamburger, and then right at the top, I can pin a message. So if I go into a channel that I know that I've got some a pinned message in, I'm going to close my side pane, my thread pane, because I don't need that right now, my split view. And I can't tell, there's no number badge on the pin that shows me if there's pin messages there, which I think is a UI improvement they could definitely make. But when I hit the pin messages here, you can see that we've got an announcement here that we have officially hit 500 members, excuse me, today, which is very, very exciting. Today at 13:21. So that was lovely. And I have pinned a number of other important pieces of information in this channel. So that is a really nice way that you can make sure that information that's important doesn't fall through the cracks. Now, in order to get to those pins, there's a little dialogue on the right-hand side that says jump. And that will allow me, so if I want to go back to this message that Jim D sent to me, I'm going to hit jump, and it's going to send me right to that message, and it's dead center in my screen. This is Jim. Excuse me. And from here, I could probably, I'll want to reply to that message in order to create a link between my reply and the original content, so that people go, what the heck is Keely replying to here? Where is this coming from? And I can get to that place. Now, if I've navigated to the middle of a channel, which is way back in history, I do have this nice, helpful, you are viewing older messages dialogue, and the ability to click on this in order to jump to the present. So if I do that, bang, it scrolls me right back. So again, a very helpful navigation feature to get there. And then on your iPhone, it looks like this. Again, this is, I'm going to need to, I'm going to need to scroll, and then I'm going to need to hit my pins in the middle, and then it will bring me up all of my pins. And if I want to go to that message, all I have to do is tap on it. And then I am there at the message that I was finding in the pins that was so darn useful. This is a question that I should have answered at some point, and maybe I did, but maybe I didn't. So I'll have to go check that out. Something you need to know about pins, there's a maximum of 50 per server, and this drives some server managers crazy because they feel like they've got a lot of information that they want to share and make sure that gets seen. And when you get to 50, you can't pin anymore. So you have to unpin something else. You have to go through and unpin messages from whatever channel that they were made in. The way that I would get around this is to do things like make a channel with only one post in it. So if you have really vital, if you have really vital pieces of information that you want to make sure stay clean, they're very easy to find, it's kind of like having a little web page almost, then I would advocate making a channel that is private in terms of being locked down for posting by anybody. All people can do here is they can emoji react, and they can do so that they can get instructions from Sesh, which is just a bot that I use to manage events on my server, and commit some actions here. But this channel, this is the only thing that's ever going to be in the calendar channel. So I've essentially pinned a channel. So I think this is an effective way to get around that information. Let's face it, if you're pinning that much stuff, at some point, are you overpinning? It's like you're overdancing. Are you ODing? Are you OPing? You know? Just saying. It's there. Okay. Absolutely. Like an FAQ. That is exactly it. So your rules channel, for example. Some people could put a rules post in the middle of another channel, like the welcome channel. And then they could take this and they would want to pin it. But I want to make sure that this is the only piece of information in rules. And yeah, FAQ might be there. Your help, for me, help is a little different because I want to make sure people can interact and get their information in. But there you go. That is an excellent usage for it as well. Okay. So I think that's everything with pinned messages, except something that I want you to know about is there are keyboard shortcuts for some of these features. Not all of them, but starting with pinned messages, if you hit Command or Control P, that will pop out pinned messages. So if I am making this active, I've just hit Command P and I get a pop out that then shows me the pinned messages. So if I come here, Command P, boom, it's there. So that's a nice quick little shortcut that I hope will help you out. Okay, next topic, the member list. Okay, this is an interesting function for us to be able to interact with the other members who are in the server. So if I come back in here and I could have hit Command P to hide the pinned messages that pop out again, but you can see that I have my member list is already open. Okay, so if I click on hide, that's the view. So this might be the view that you are often seeing in Discord, and I often prefer to have my member list open. I just like to know who's around. I like to know who's online. So if I happen to be answering somebody's question, if I know that they're online, I probably won't ping them directly, or if I want to draw their attention to information that they wouldn't get pinged in an automatic reply, then I might go, oh, they're online, so it's cool, I don't have to notify them. But I might look at somebody else who's offline and say, oh, I really want, let's see, I really want Lars here to get this information, so I might tag him in a particular message, knowing that it's offline, but when he sees his notifications, because I pinged him, he will come back in. The other nice thing that this allows you to do is take a look at how you can interact with people. So when I right click on myself, I can do a lot of things here. I can check out my profile, for example. So, oh, there's a profile for me. This is my entire user profile. So this is my default. So it's a different, you can see it's a different avatar, and I've got a different banner, which is something that's available to Nitro users and things like that. I have filled out my bio, my About Me bio, which is important. I'll do another stream on that in a little while. And I've also connected all of my socials down here. So if somebody wants to right click on me and say, oh, I wonder what, this person's YouTube channel is, they can find it and they can just hit on the hyperlink and they can hop out to there. So if you are on Discord for any kind of business purposes, or you're trying to promote your social media properties, make sure that you've gone through your user settings and you've connected your social profiles so that those show up automatically. And that makes it a lot easier for people to check you out. Now, if I go down to a different user, you can see I've got a whole bunch more capacities, available. So I'm going to move my big head out of the way, and I'm going to right click again on my friend Mike, and you can see that now I've got options to do many more things because he's not me. I can click on this so that I can mention him in the next message that I'm going to use. Okay, boom, I've hit mention. And now in the dialogue, in the text bar, that's what it's called. In the text bar, it will insert his username, his handle, already linked, everything's good. And I don't have to start with a @ and then start typing and make sure that I've got the right person and that sort of thing. I can also direct message this person. Now, messaging is variable depending on how people have set their own privacy. So I already know that I'm a friend of Mike. I'm not going to press on this because I don't want to get into our DMs where we talk lots of things. But I can quickly get into the DMs for that person by clicking there. I can also call them. I can even add a note. So this is a neat little feature. People don't often know what to do with the notes, but some people, it's pretty popular for people to put birthdays of people that they know in there. They might put that person's time zone so that you as a user know when I can interact with this other member more efficiently and that sort of thing. And you might put in a note about, oh, I had a really positive interaction with this one individual, so I like them a lot. You might put their real name in there. If they go by nicknames and they're changing their nicknames a lot, maybe for their own sake, these are notes that are only visible to you. They are attached to you as a user that you have assigned as a data point to that user profile. So that stays with you. And even from here, I can check out, what mutual servers that Mike and I are on. As you can see, that's his original user profile name and number, so I know that. And I can see if we have any mutual friends in common. I'm going to do another video about friends in the future because that gets onto a whole nother tangent, but that is absolutely there. And then ways that you interact with them on the server. So if somebody's in a voice channel with you and they happen to be louder than everybody else, you don't have to go, hey, would you reduce your volume, please? You can settle your own user experience by changing their volume. You can mute that person so that you don't hear them whatsoever. Maybe they've fallen down the stairs and you don't want to hear them crying. Oh boy, that sounded really bad. Then you could mute them. If they have something going on in their video that you're finding distracting and you don't want to pay attention to right now, then you can disable their video as well. And then there are some options that come to me only because I'm the server owner of this particular place. And then mod things, move my head out of the way again. Mod activities are in red down here, and roles is another mod activity. So I can, right from here, I can assign different roles to Mike. So if I decide that Mike is now actually also going to be part of the FIH, I'm not going to do that part, but you can see that he's got a number of roles that are attached to him from other activities that he's done in the server, but I can assign or take away more just from this dialogue. So that's a really handy place If you see somebody in the user pane and they're like, hey, I can't get into this channel, I thought I had umpire privileges, then you can assign that really quickly and look after them. So those are some of the things that you can do in the member list. I always want to call it a user pane, but it's a member list. And the shortcut to get there is Command U for the user list. So I'm going to put myself, how about I put myself down there? That's probably a good place. So Command U will hide and show, or control if you happen to be on Windows, but none of us are. There you go. Let's see what's going on. I see some smack talking and I'm here for this. So, well, that's interesting. My, my scene disintegrated. Why would that happen? Bugs, bugs, bugs. I guess I'm gonna stay on. Let's just see if any other scene. Okay, this still works. This is not supposed to be that scene. Oh well. Doc? Just kidding. There is no crying in Discord. There's probably a lot of crying. Pia, it reminds you have a question that really doesn't have anything to do with the top bar. Is there any way people can join a voice channel and write in the channel instead of voice? Okay, that is a good question. I'm going to pin that and I'm going to come back when I've gotten through the rest of this because we're pretty close. She's talking about old country right now. Doc says, wait until you can find the knob that turns down the hillbilly dialect. I'm not sure what's happening with this, Jay Elliott, but you can explain. There you go. Yes, Sammy, the best of us are Mac users. That's absolutely true. But I'm starting to realize that if I, I'm reaching out to Discord community, not to Ecamm community, eventually. So I should be prepared for more than that. Okay, so that was the member list. And for funsies, I'm going to hide it one more time. Oh, let's see. This scene is still functioning. Excellent. So the member list you can see is right just underneath my power indicator there. And if I tap on that, and again, I can tap on that to bring up threads, pins, notifications, and settings. And then I can scroll through all of my users here. And I can also just left swipe to return to the channel that I was in, right swipe to get back to the user panel. So the user panel is, or the user list is that right-hand pane, that panel that sits beside. Just imagine it's always kind of there, but you can see just peeking out from the left-hand side there, there's your main channel. So you can kind of feel like you're still connected. But what else do you do when you're in that sort of, when you're on a mobile? And I'm just going to leave Jason Sudeikis up there because he makes me feel very happy. Okay. Searching. This is, for me, the reason that we want to be in Discord rather than, I don't know, pretty much any other community platform, especially over Facebook groups. Search in Discord is very, very powerful, and it operates on everything from just searching for a word to being able to use compound operators. So when I click inside the search bar, you can see I get a bunch of the operators, search options. So if I start typing from, and then I can then search for particular users, or I could click on it. So from is already filled out now, and I can go see everything. I'm starting to type Keely, and it filters down on that search result. So not only can do that, I can say, well, I don't just want to search everything that Keely every message that she's posted, but how about everything that has a link attached to it, or an embed, or a file, or a video? Let's see. Okay, so I've got some links to videos, and this is really clever because it says it's a YouTube, so it knows, even though it's a link, it's there. And then I have examples there. So if you were like, gosh, you know, Sammy put up this really cool video last week. I don't even remember what it's called. I don't know what it was like, but I'm going to search for that. And I could say, for example, that, oh, I remember Keely, she posted a video, and it was after, it was after this date. Now I've got a calendar picker, so I can filter. Literally, I only want to see videos that Keely posted after the 4th. And oh, look, I didn't post any. Okay, let's see if I can do better. Nope, still not there. And old is not going to wreck that anyway. But you can see that there's really, really powerful operators that I can add onto this. And when I click at the end of the search bar like this, my cursor is flashing again. And now I can access all of the different ones. Oh, I just want to see things that were in this particular channel after this particular date. And if I start typing, it'll pull up the channel, and I can select that, and it will further filter the search down. Like, oh my goodness, you guys, this is so, so amazing. It's got all of these options here. If you're starting to search, and let's say I search for a common term that's used in my server called Penalty Corner, and I'm like, oh wow, well here's 82 results. There's a lot of them. These are all the new results. I can then screen for old. So I've got a whole different, and this is by date. So the oldest are at the top, and the first time that the whole Penalty Corner term was used there is going to be in this oldest message, and then for relevancy. So I'm not sure exactly how accurate that all is, but these are other options that you can use in order to search. Also, there is, when I click in here, down at the bottom here, I also have a history. So if I just did a search yesterday, I was like, oh yeah, that was a really good search. That got me to where I want, but I forgot to take out what I really wanted. Oh yeah, I wanted to search for everything that Mike posted, and boom, I can look very quickly using the history of all those things. Now there is a keyboard shortcut for this that is really nice and handy, but it operates a lot like Mac OS's Command F does, as well, is that it's more contextual. So Command F will bring up the search in channel. So I'm here in my general channel now. If I hit Command F, it automatically fills in that it's going to search only in this channel. So that can be a nice shortcut where you want to do that. I'm going to try something. I'm courageous. No, didn't work. Oh, you guys, I just discovered another shortcut. Can you see what I did here? I think. So I was hitting, gang, Command Shift. Command Shift, I am active in this message, and it's bringing up more of my options. It has expanded the meatballs. It has exploded the meatballs. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really bad at using sound effects when I'm doing Discord stuff because I'm really, really focused. But wait, oh, I don't even have my, oh, here. That is so exciting. Oh, I love this. So I've expanded, I'm mousing. That's going to make this so much faster to interact. This is what I love about Discord, gang. It is so just completely invigorating to be able to see all the possibilities and all the different shortcuts and all the different ways. I am learning constantly all the time. Very, very cool. Okay, search on your iOS device. Okay, right at the top, magnifying glass, fairly easy, boom. And you can also use the same options, the same filterable options. So I can search for user and I can find my friend Mike again. And I can say it's got a video, and I can search for every video that Mike has talked about recently. And that's all it is. Okay, and that's only in the channel. As soon as you swipe into the user list, you are going to then be off. Oops. Oops. Yep, you're going to be off the view that's going to give you access to search. There you go. Losing my words. Okay, that's search. Last one. Oh, I haven't even gone through the inbox, and I don't know where that is. Where's my inbox scene? Let's do help, and then we're going to come back to inbox, because inbox is the one that's going to blow your minds. Okay, like just bar none, it is going to blow your minds. And help takes 2 seconds. So over here in the corner, help. Click on it, and it takes you to support.discord.com. Here's the help center. This is obviously a good thing. Okay, and if you use the shortcut for help, which is Command H, as it often is, I'm going to hit Command H, and boom, that's what it's going to pull up for you. So I wonder if that, oh, you guys, this is good. I think I just crashed Discord. Nope, there it is. It hid for me. And, yep, my scene has blown up again. Let's see if I can bring it back. Don't panic, everybody. Don't panic. Okay, I'm panicking. Screen share. Okay. Maybe this is how I'm going to bring my main pane back. Let's see if that works. Okay, I'm going to go back to main and just see if I can, I don't know, resurrect my whole... No, because this has changed everything. It's okay. All right, friends, the inbox. Last thing. And why? Ecamm beta. 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 Is it because I call you beta? Is that what's happening here? Honestly, I don't know what's happening. I don't have any issues like this on my FH Empire stream, so this is fascinating. Okay. Friends, the inbox. Magical. Absolutely, absolutely magical. This is the secret weapon for you to keep up with everything going on in your channels. And I have to admit that until I was doing my research for this particular segment, I hadn't paid attention to the inbox whatsoever. But when you click on inbox, you now get your Discord-wide picture of things that are happening that you need to read. The first tab will be your mentions. So this is everything where you have been mentioned, you've been replied to, or anything like that. And here it is. So here's a reply that I got in Doc's Let's Get Live. And if I'm like, cool, I've seen that, I can hit close. It's now marked as read, which is fantastic. So instead of jumping around from server to server over here and hunting out, or even using the shortcut keys to go from next unread channel to the next unread channel to the previous unread channel, whatever the case might be, I can open my inbox and I can go to all of my mentions, and in the next tab, my unreads. So this is everything. So I've got my DMs in here. I've got everything that I'm getting notifications for. And I can very quickly, if I use tabs, and you can see that one thing that happened was that as soon as I hit tab, the very first tab that I hit, let's see if I can get, I'm glad this DM is not anything private. That would have been embarrassing. The first tab that I hit actually highlighted around here, marking my inbox as read. So I could just, with one click, one tab, and pressing this button, which I don't want to do because I don't want to miss anything, everything just all the way through my Discord. So if you have to declare Discord bankruptcy, which you may have heard of, it's like, you know, inbox, email bankruptcy, you can hit that and boom, you're done. And then I could tab down and I could start processing and just reading my things. If I want to, for example, this is, I'm not sure if that's gonna, okay, this message I've now tabbed to and I've barred. I can use the shortcut key, and here, let me bring this up. Okay, sorry, Command I is the shortcut key to bring up your inbox, and then Command Shift E will mark your top item as read. Okay, so I'm gonna hit Command E, top item, it shifted it up, and then it marked it as read, and everything filtered up. I was like, oh, I've got a new, that's really nice. And there we go. You can see how you can very quickly go through your entire server. Bang, 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 bang. You can even change your notification settings right in this dialog as well. So if you realize that there's a channel that is just blowing up and you have zero interest in it, you could come in and you could change your notification settings. You could temporarily mute it. You could change whether it's only your app mentions that are coming into you, that nothing is here. You could mute the entire server where this is coming from because you're like, whoa, this thing is crazy. I don't need to see this. And along with all of the options for how long that server could be muted for you. Okay. This is gold, my friends. This is incredibly, incredibly useful. Okay, so that, for me, friends, is everything in the top app bar. What screen am I going to go to that's going to make this? Let's do this like this. And I'm going to, on the fly, change this up so that I can at least be like most of the screen. This is amazing. It just blew up my main screen just like that. Okay, that's gone. And let me get rid of that. Okay. Doesn't look terrible. Doesn't look great. There we go. D, is that better? It's centered. So I hope you found this really, really useful. This was a journey into usability for me, and I learned a lot of things that I didn't know already when I was researching all this, and I hope you found some useful elements as well. If you did find it useful and you want to buy me a drink, please. These days, Saturdays are rosé days. It ends in a DAY, rosé days. So buymeacoffee.com/DFCS. And also, if you are interested, oh, there's a whole bunch of comments that I did not see. So how about I deal with them now? Because that's kind of what we should do. And by we, I mean me. And us. And us. Okay. People are saying hi to each other. That's fantastic. There are exceptions. Yes, Pia and I you are terrific, so don't you worry. Don't you worry. But we're gonna get you on Mac soon. Just saying. You know the problem. You got yourself an iPhone. Oh yes, just so you could do your iPhone tutorials. Yeah, that can be something for sure. I just wanted to make sure that I could show the inbox does not exist on iOS. Good to know. It just doesn't work the same way. It's not the same sort of interface, and I wanted to double check to confirm. You can see your app mentions down here, and I'm tapping on the @ symbol down there so I can see all of my app mentions, and those will stay until I close them or after 7 days has passed. So that's good to know in this interface over here, that when I hit my Command I shortcuts, I think I understand what's happening now. We'll investigate. So if I go to my mentions here, it's a different, it's different. It closes rather than marks as read, and otherwise they'll stay only for 7 days and then they just get filtered off. Okay, for me, the app mentions aren't as important as going through the unreads in the inbox. So there you go. Okay, back to here. Oh, Sammy, don't you dare. Don't you dare. You know there's a search bar. Come on, friend. Really? You didn't know that? This is the whole selling point. This is what makes it so dope over Facebook, and the search works. It works so well. There you go. Question D. Does the search operate across servers or just the one from which you are involved? Yes. If you invoke the search term inside a server, it only works inside that server. Great question. And let's see. I know, and this is the thing. You know, there's so much going on in the interface, and I think this is one of the beautiful pros, but also one of the detractions of Discord, is that there's so much happening that you can go for years being an expert Discord user as you are, Sammy, and not know that there's a certain function available. Super crazy, super crazy. But that's why I'm here, is to go through everything methodically. This is a very Alec Take One Tech sort of vibe I'm trying to hit up here. On Chrome, you have to use Shift Control H. If you just use Control H, you go to Chrome History. Right. So this is only in the apps. And frankly, I mean, use the apps when you are on a machine that you can't install, or sorry, use the browser when you're on a machine that you can't install apps on. You're at a public library. You're borrowing a friend's machine. That's when you use the browser. Using the browser regularly, I think just you're losing out on a few of the features, and I will find out exactly what those features are for you so I can persuade you. You hit that button today. Don't do that. I don't know which button it was, but it was a bad button. Oh, the mark all red? Yeah, that's probably it. Yes, Control and something on Windows is Command. Yeah, on Mac. That is absolutely true. There you go. And oh yes, so this is the overall keyboard shortcuts. So if I open this back up, if I hit Command Ecamm, no thank you. You don't have to bring up the interview pane. I may not be able to do this. Nope, it worked. I had to make Discord active. So I hit Command / and it brings up all the keyboard combos. So these are, this is a great way so you can find your cheat sheet. And I absolutely love this. So you can find out how to toggle the GIF picker and the emoji picker and the sticker picker. Don't use stickers. Nobody likes stickers. Answering incoming calls, all those things. The one shortcut that you need to have, Command K. You absolutely need to have this one. Okay, it's just such a fast way that you can get places. It's hard when a whole bunch of channels call themselves general, of course, which is very, very common. You can see I've got a whole bunch there. Okay. But if you start things with, I'm like, okay, I really want to search for friends and users in FH umpires. Actually, that's a user there. Asterisks will help confine your search in this jump bar to a particular server. So if I want to search, or yeah, if I want to go to the Descript community, and that filters down my results into that place. So let's go back to my happy. I know nothing will bite me in my own server. I shouldn't say that. Something will bite me for sure. That's there. So Command K, start there. It's a great navigation. You can go to your DMs as well, find different individuals that you're having DMs with, and also just start searching for channels. So even if I search for left, I'm getting users, I'm getting channels, I'm getting all kinds of things. So it'll search. This is where you search for everything, Dina. Wow, I put that together just not too. That didn't take me too long to figure out. But here, where was your question? It was there. Q. There. So that is where you can do your all the Discord search. So if you're really proficient at narrowing your search results, that's a great place to go. Bang. Love that one. Okay. Let's see. Yes, that is the link for my Discord for Creators server. So it's still in its infancy. It is just building up, but this is the address, discordforcreators.com/DS Discord server. I can make it any size that I want. And there is the Rose and support. Hi, Cartoon Universe. Good to see you. There's definitely a lot to learn about Discord. Yes, I'm having a blast. And I'm an old. And yes, Pia, I'll come back to you. This was your question here. Is there any way people can join a voice channel and write in the channel instead of voice? No. Okay, that's the short answer. A voice channel is a voice channel. So I'm going to pop into here. This is a voice channel that I have set up in my server that only I'm in, and then I can drag people into to join me because I'm like, hey, let's have a private meeting right now. Boom, I can drag them into this. So I'm not worried about anybody coming in. But voice channels just give you, hi, two of me. Voice channels give you this interface. So what people will often do is they'll create a text channel and they'll place it just above or just below the voice channel in the server, in the server organization pane in the hierarchy. And that way, and they'll say, this is Keely's Lounge chat, for example. So people know that that's where they should go in order to talk about that certain thing. I often will create a thread because everything that's talked about in the voice channel tends to be about what's going on in the voice channel, which is very contemporaneous. So I will make a thread that will contain all that information. So, for example, back during the Olympics, what I was doing was I had, hang on, let me just disconnect from this. Oops. Good times, friends, good times. Just making sure you can still see everything. Right window, that would be helpful. So during the Olympics, I was often running voice channels and I was streaming privately to everybody who's in the Discord about what was happening that day. And that way I didn't have to worry about the Olympic broadcast system taking down my content off YouTube, because that's the thing that happened. And every day, because I did daily streams, we had a text channel that was devoted to that day's stream. And it would then auto archive after 3 days or a week. And people knew that if they wanted to talk about what they wanted to join in with live, so it was like a YouTube live chat comment window, and people interacted with that. The only difference was I couldn't bring individual comments from Discord into eCam like I can with this. So you lose that power. And what I did instead was I created a scene where I used a screen share overlay that isolated just that channel, and I would bring that up onto into my scene so that I could show everybody their comments and give them their props, so everybody felt like they were in the stream and they were on the broadcast. Okay, so hopefully that answers that question. One thing I wonder, no, I'm going to save it for another video. It's more about threads. Things are changing with threads. Discord is developing some new things, so I'm going to leave you with that teaser. If you have any other questions, please do jump in them right now. I want to thank you all for coming by and bearing with my scene difficulties. Don't know what I managed to do, but we will check it out. Disintegrated just the most important scene, you know, in my whole show. And thanks for your questions. I hope everybody learned something. Make sure you pop into the server and let me know if there was something that super blew your mind that you're just realizing now, something that I didn't uncover and you want to share with me. I would love to hear it. So pop in and say hi. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for coming. Let me get that out of the way. And we will see you next week on another one. I am going to be starting to delve into, I think, more on the server setup side. So when you're a server manager, some basics on things to do with roles and permissions, maybe. But I keep finding other areas that I think I need to cover first for all of us so that we feel most proficient in using Discord before we even set up environments for our communities. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll run a poll or something. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. If that's when you're watching, if you're in the replay squad, please write that in the comments. And if you have any questions, smack them in there, because I am there for you to make sure that you are learning everything that you need to know so that you can come build your amazing communities inside Discord. Thanks again. We'll see you soon.